I think control has played the biggest part in developing and having an eating disorder. Actually, it's people often think that it's a lot about wanting to be very skinny or being restrictive with food, and it also is, definitely, but a big part of, at least for me, has been control, that I've felt lack of control in life in general, and needed to find something that I could be in complete control over. So yeah, definitely. It's more complex than only about looks and weight. Yeah, and also another thing I would say is that you can see if a person is suffering from an eating disorder. At times you can, absolutely. Sometimes you can, but usually anyone can have it. It doesn't matter what they look like, or yeah. I would say that my eating disorder could have been prevented in some ways, and in some ways I think it was inevitable. For me, the eating disorder was a way of handling emotions that I couldn't cognitively handle in other ways, if that makes sense. And but I think that if you open the discussion for mental health in general at an early age with children, I think that would absolutely make it easier for people to maybe not get it, and if they do get it, maybe have an easier way of getting through it. I told my closest people that I was having a hard time, and the biggest step I took was actually seeking professional help for it, which I believe is, in most cases, necessary. An eating disorder is so much more than just a habit, I think, and I think it's in many ways necessary to actually get someone that works with it, that's a professional, to help you get through it. Yeah, it's a sickness, and it's not something you can do on your own a lot of times. I'd like to think that you can be fully recovered and free from an eating disorder. I think I have to believe that that is possible to motivate myself also. But it's a question that definitely divides. Some people, even people who have it and people who work with people who have it, it's divided. Some people think that you can, and others believe that you live with it all your life. I think you live with the triggers in different forms, and I think you'll be affected by it all life, but I don't think you have necessarily to suffer from it. It's one thing to have a trigger and be triggered by something, and it's another thing to act on it. I think that's the main difference of being sick and living with it. Very different. My relationship with my body is very different today than it was, let's say, just like 1 year ago or 2 years ago. It's I'm kinder to myself and my body. I'm also older than I was when I first got sick, which means that I also have, one day I want to be a mother, for example, and that makes it easier for me to be kind towards myself, because I know that I'll be, hopefully, a home for another living human for 9 months. And for that to happen, I have to take care of myself also. So that has actually helped me have some sort of goal. And also, yeah, a lot of work. I put in the work to be able to get better. Yeah. one thing that I think of is I've thrown out all the clothes that don't fit me anymore. That's one kind of thing that, like, I think a lot of people do. They keep those pants in the wardrobe even though they don't fit, to maybe one day be able to fit in them. And I've sort of let go of having that as a goal. That's not a goal that you're supposed to have. Your body changes, and that's okay. Yeah, that's one, but also maybe not thinking as bad thoughts anymore. Yeah. Sometimes I can even, like, pat myself on the arm or, yeah, do stuff like that. Yeah. Life feels meaningful when I'm with the relationships I have, I think. To feel loved and love. And also the future, I think I'm hoping I'll have. A family I'm hoping to create someday. The music I want to make. Yeah. I'd like to tell her to be patient, more patient maybe, and try to see that even if it feels like shit at moments, it actually gets better. And that's a cliche, but it truly does. Also, to be more trusting with people. Let maybe be a bit not as scared to let people in, and show yourself vulnerable. Yeah. I think that's one of the hardest things to do, especially with other people, because it lets you risk getting hurt, and you risk being fragile, and some people don't take that the best way, and some people do. Some people are very supportive, but some people aren't. But in general, I think you always win more than you lose by being open with people. Yeah, there's a lot of help that you actually can get from others who have maybe experienced similar things, that can relate, and yeah. I hope to, like, look at an old picture of myself from when I'm what I am today, 27 or younger, and think that she did good. I did as best as I could, and that's fine, and that's all that needs to be done. And also be proud of the road I've taken, and the steps I've taken, and how far I've come. As long as you do it with a lot of awareness and respect, not to and try as much as you can not to trigger anyone that may see it or hear it. A big goal, or something that's important for me at least, is to not spread awareness, because I don't have the capacity or the room to do so, to spread awareness on the subject. But when I can, I always like to talk about it, and spread it as much as possible, I guess. Yeah.